Alright, time to get back into it. Have a little bit of fun with vehicles. Because now I got that. Alright, remember? But let's show you a couple other things first before we get into that. I found these, remember? I don't know if I told you guys, but anyway, I found these at the back of a truck stop. So I made me a little fence out of them to section off my little porch here. And found some wood in a warehouse. And put that together to make me some steps on the back side of the porch. Low railing, that way when my wife's out here she can sit up there and have a good time. I still got to build a little deck right through here so I can get into the shop. The shop's come along a little bit more. I've built some more shelving on that side. Of course I still got my radio. Yeah, I guess I'm a nerd. That was the ringtone of my new phone. See, this is my new phone. I downsized the iPhone so I could have more money in my pocket and more time to myself. Okay, we already seen all that. But yeah, stuff's coming along great. On the back side, I built this compressor box. On the back side, it just sticks out. That way the lawnmower can get back there and then there's less sound in the shop. Back to the truck. We've already seen a lot of this. I'm not going to talk specifically about any one person. I'm just going to talk about this truck as if I didn't know who had it or what. But there's some things that I found with this truck that really need to be addressed, so that when you guys go out there and you find a truck, it's stuff that you really need to look at before actually doing some hard driving, because there's safety issues that you need to address. Otherwise, you can have a truck where when you get halfway down the road, you end up flipping it and rolling it. And we've heard that from a couple of the guys out there that have gotten vehicles that were looking in great shape, and then they ended up, something broke, and they ended up rolling it. There was a show truck recently that had that happen this past year. So, alright, so let's get into the truck. Okay, in defense to my friend that sold this truck to me, I want to say that he didn't have it for very long. Jesus. That's my ringtone. Sounds kind of nerdish to me. Okay. Anyway, he didn't have it for very long. This truck, from what I understand, went through a few different owners, and different owners did different things. So I don't know who did what or whatnot, but I want to address these issues. First off, you want to get into your truck and find out if the guy before you was trying to modify. Now, you see this? The bump stops were cut off with a torch. That's why it's melted the way it is. Although torches are okay, it's not a preferred thing. It's easier to cut it off with just a regular angle iron and not an angle iron, an angle grinder and a cutting wheel on your angle grinder, and it cuts off very nicely. But that can still be cleaned up. It's not completely gone, but it should not be driven very long distances with it looking like that. That's very dangerous. Also, the other thing they did was they went ahead and cut the inner fenders out. You can eliminate all this extra jagged cutting on the inner fender well by cutting it out after you've got the wheels that you want and lowering it down. That way you eliminate all the excess cutting. Also, leaving your fuse box just kind of hanging out like that was bad. This part of the inner fender right here, I don't know if you can see it better like this, it was bent down. So the wheels were actually cutting into it every time it bounced. I'll get to the shocks in a minute. This side was cut and actually grinded down, which actually looks good. But again, there's no support for the shock. There's no support for that upper control arm. Everything's just hanging out, and that can bend and break. And this truck was driven over 100 miles to come back to Arkansas. This truck was actually acquired in Texas. But if you can see, dang it, the sun. Right there, they had it lowered so far that the wheels were rubbing on that. Every time you turn, your tires are cutting into all of this. This is stuff that you need to be careful of when you're cutting it out, making sure that your wheels aren't cutting into all that stuff. On top of that, it was idling rough, which you want to look on your valve cover. Make sure that these grommets, I put a new one and a new valve on that, and it idles a whole lot better. Also check this one, because any vacuum leaks are going to make your stuff feel really rugged. This has had a motor swap. I'm not exactly sure what motor this is. I'm not a tech, and the sticker right there is gone, so I don't know exactly what this motor came out of. I do know that it's a really, it feels like it's got quite a bit of power. Somebody tried to adjust the lifters. You can't adjust the lifters unless it's warm. I did some tooling around on the internet just to make sure of how to do it, and what I come up with is that it has, first off, the engine has to be at running temperature. Second off, the motor cannot be running, and you have to do it on the number 1 cylinder and then do a full rotation, and then you do the other. I don't know, I'm not going to explain all that right now. These mirrors, although looking cool, they're not going to serve a purpose hanging down like that. And of course, if you turn them up where they can be useful, they're facing the wrong way. So these, I'm going to switch around. I've already de-stickered it. Oh, this is going to turn into a long video. I hope I keep you guys' attention. Talking and talking and talking. This is another thing that I noticed. I want you guys to pay attention. If somebody redoes the exhaust, really, look at that. Can you see what's going on there? This exhaust was not tacked into place, so it can vibrate and move. And where it has moved to is the exhaust is aimed right at the rear axle. That's going to burn up your gears. Now, like I said, this was driven over 100 miles. It's good that nothing happened to it, but it's bad that it was done in the first place. You've got this little Flowmaster. This is actually going to come off. I don't want the Flowmaster on there. I have a different muffler that I'm going to put on. It still has the catalytic converter. Well, if you're not in Texas, we don't need a catalytic converter in Arkansas. Well, maybe you do, but most of us cut it off. Anyway, there's no sensor after the catalytic converter, which means the engine's going to run no matter what with the sensor that's in front of it. So you can cut this off behind it, which eliminates the catalytic converter. When I got it, it already had the 3-inch blocks in the front. The torsion bars have already been turned, and in which case this one, if you see the torsion bars right there, it actually has 2 bolts right in center, one there and one on the other side. If you jack it up, all you got to do is turn those bolts one way or the other to loosen and tighten those torsion bars, and you can lower your front end. Okay, because they work just like in the other one. So if you need a little bit of touch up on how torsion bars work, I have a video that you can watch that tells how torsion bars work, lowering torsion bars. I'm not sure exactly what it was, what the name of the video is, but there's the start. Like I said before, the interior is immaculate. It's a beautiful truck. Just needs a little bit of help here and there. Somebody told me that the clutch slave cylinder, which is over on the transmission side at the end of all that, it pushes the clutch in and out. They said that it was leaking. Well, it's not leaking. There's no leak there. But if you push the clutch in and you hold it to the floor, it slowly disengages or re-engages the clutch. So my only other thing that I'm thinking of that could possibly happen, if you have no leaks anywhere, check to make sure that your clutch master cylinder here at the wall, right here, this isn't leaking in here. There's no way of telling, because if you smash it in, you're not going to see the fluid flowing back into here. So all you can really do is change it and hope. Unless some of you got some clues and tips and stuff to let us know how to do that. God, I covered a lot in this one little video. Please keep watching. I'm going to be doing some more updates. I'm going to be playing around with the truck, trying to get some more videos out here. I'm very sorry about this being a 10-minute video. I know I talk a lot, but I wanted to squeeze in a whole lot of information. For those of you who endured this whole, 12-minute video, I thank you very much. Keep watching. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please rate. Give me some thumbs up. That really helps me out. And have a good day. Have a good day. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Sunday, so hopefully I'll get another video out next week.